everybody. Fall's arrived here to the northwest as the rains have returned. The house is all cleaned up and ready and moss all off the roofs. But we're not going to do an update this week. Actually, I've gotten a lot of questions. I've been on Model Railroad Hobbyist Magazine blog. A lot of questions about how I set up the maps and used maps from the U.S. Geological Survey and how I created the layout that I have and the design that I have, and maybe some of the thought process into it. So next week is a work weekend, and we'll have an update from that. But right now, this is probably more of just a how-to and how I got to this point. So in any case, come on in, and I'll take you to my computer and I'll show you what I did. Well, hello everyone, and here we are at my desk. This is where I do a lot of my thinking, my planning, and drawing. It's also where I do a ton of research. So anyway, based on the map we're showing you here, and I've taken a video of that so you can see it up close, I'm going to show you what I did to create that, how I incorporated it into my CAD drawings. This is by no means the only way to do it. It just happens to be the way that I did it. And as such, I'm just sharing with you the process that I went through to design the layout that I have. And as we go through, it'll help you see a lot of what we're doing. Anyway, let's go to the computer and we'll show you how we did. Okay, here we are at the desktop. And I am going to open up my browser. And I'm going to type in USGS maps. There it is. This is the U.S. Department of Geological Survey. And I want this link here that says Map Locator USGS Store One Stop Shop for All. Click on that. That's going to give you this landing page. And it's going to come up here in Colorado. I'm going to work in Colorado. So I'm going to zip into Colorado, and as you get closer, you can see details and cities begin to clear up. Okay, and eventually you're going to get these sector maps. These sector maps are how the U.S. is divided up. Now, Denver Union Station is located right here between Commerce City and Arvindale. And I want to take and get this Commerce City map. So what I'll do is I'll mark points. I'm going to mark the Commerce City here. And when I click on that red pointer again, I'm going to get all the maps. Now, the maps that work best are these 7.5 by 7.5 grid. All the other ones, they're bigger, they've got all kinds of stuff. This is the one that works best, these 7.5 by 7.5 grids. Now I'm modeling in 1959, so obviously a map that's dated in 2013 is not very helpful to me. But as I scroll down, I'm going to get different years. There's 1960, 1958, but again, that's the wrong one. 1957, Commerce City. That's what I'm looking for. But just to keep going down, there's 1953, 1950, 1947, 1940, 1938, and finally you can get a Denver map from 1980. Excuse me, 1880. So just to give you an idea of what you can find from some of these locations. I am interested in this Commerce City map, this one from 1957. Now, I have two of them, and my experience has been if I have a choice between an 8.2 megabyte one and a 12.5, they're exactly the same map. The difference is this one's going to have a little better resolution. So I'm going to click this plus sign, and it's going to show it in my download file, and it's in my cart. Now, I can add that thing literally, just so you're aware of it. If you keep clicking it, take a look at the items. I've got that map now downloaded 7 times. I don't need it 7 times, just giving you a heads up. It's something you can do. Just hit it one time, it's there. I'm going to also want this map here, so again, I'm going to put a marker here. There's the red marker. I'm going to click on that red marker again, and there's all my choices. I'm going to come down here, and there is a 1957 Avondale map. I'm going to click on that, and it's added it to here, and I can do this for all the areas I want. It will only show 2 maps here, so take a look at your item numbers when you're doing that. I'll then simply download my whole thing. Now guys, these are free. There is no cost in doing this. I simply download them and save them. I'm not going to do this because I've already done this. So I'm just going to cancel it out of here. I'm going to open up where I've got them stored at. Here literally is all the maps that I have downloaded and researched in trying to find what I want to do to design my layout. In particular here, I'm going to open up this Commerce City map, and I have it open already, and this is the map. Now, you can't drag or do anything with this thing. It's a PDF. So what you have to do is come over here and grab these bars and move them down. And if you see when you get down here, here's the Pullman shops, here's the UP yard, 38th Street yard, and down here in the corner, this is Denver Union Station right here. Okay, there's the UP yard and everything. Just to give you an idea of what's up in this area here, and areas that I'm modeling. There's the Denver stockyards, which are on my layout. Here is the oil refinery, and right across from the oil refinery, across the highway here, this happens to be the big grain station that the grain elevator I'm modeling here. And they're both serviced by the Burlington and the Union Pacific. Okay, so let's get back to what we want to do with this map here. So I'm going to drag it down to the corner I'm interested in, which happens to be this corner here. And I want to include Denver Union Station here. Now, if you have a question, if you run off the map here and you go, well, where's this supposed to go? The maps actually help you out. In this corner, the map on the corner here happens to be the Fort Logan map. And if you were to go back, you could download that map. The map that's directly south is the Inglewood map. And the map that's directly west is the Arvindale map. Okay? So I'm just going to go right back down here and get where I want to. Now, I zoom these maps in at 200. This seems to work best for me for building maps. Experiment with what you want to do what you want to do with it, but that's what you're going to find. So I get this lined up just the where I'm interested in taking a screenshot. Now, I have a double monitor system here, so it's going to take a screenshot of both of my monitors, and we're going to modify it here. But I simply hit my Control and Print Screen, and then I open up my Microsoft Paint. And if you notice, because I hit Print Screen, there's automatically a paste button here. And if I hit the paste button, there's my other screen monitor, and this is the one we were looking at. I'm now going to make this map a little more useful for me. So what I can do is I'm interested in just this portion right down here, and I'm going to take and trim this to what I'm interested in. So I'm going to take Select, And I'm going to simply take all of this right here and I'm going to crop it. And now, if you take a look, there is nothing left there but the map. This is what I print and tape together. And I'll overlay the different things, the different maps, so that Union Station will be right alongside here, and I'll print them up so that they end up overlap. That's why I've got this little tab here that I want to keep so that I can tape right onto that. The other thing you notice, it's 1957 on this map, so all the streets are labeled and numbered. That's really helpful once you have the maps all built, because sometimes you want to look and see, well, what's here in this UP yard? So I'm going to go back to my browser and I'm going to slip over to Google Map. And here I am at Denver on Google Map, and I'm going to zip in here until I find, lo and behold, there, this right here, excuse me, yep, that right there is the Union Yard. This used to be the Pullman Yard. It's now a container yard. This is the 38th Street yard right through here. This is what's left of all the industrial area downtown. And if you look right, as I keep rolling down, oh, there it is right here. Almost past it. There is Denver Union Station. And you can see, as of today, there are no tracks going through here because this is now becoming a light rail station. And this is all that's left of Rice Yard. This used to be all Rice Yard. All this where the Pepsi Center and all this is, this used to be Rice Yard. And if you continue on down here, you're going to see this is what's left of the Denver Rio Grande Yard right through here. That's it. That's all that's left of it. And if you go up north, the old Denver Rio Grande and Western Yard, that's all that's left of that yard. The UP is still using it. There used to be another yard right over alongside here. See, there it is right there. And this is the rest of that yard. So you can actually go through and find things in here. Interestingly enough, I have found that a lot of the buildings are still in use. They've just been repurposed. As it happens to be off of this yard up in this area here, there used to be a Denver CB&Q engine facility, and that is now a grocer. And if I could find it, I'd drop right onto it, but it's in this area here, and that used to be a grocery. It's now a grocery warehouse. And that's all that's left of that. So it's really helpful to kind of go through this thing, and you can look at these two using Google Map and the old 1957 maps and help you out. Now from there, that helps me when I open up. I use AnyRail 5. And as I'm working with these right here, this is how I design my maps, my CAD rail to go through this. So I'm going to pull this over here. And in this case here, we're going to open up my files. And it's telling me it's got some new installs to go, but right now we're just going to ask me to remind me tomorrow. Okay. Now I'm going to put up my scenery here. I'm going to turn on the scenery, and I'm going to put on my hidden track and everything here. Actually, I'm going to turn off the hidden track. The blue here through this area, this is my staging yard. And I like through staging yards. It makes it easier for operations when you're resetting for another operation session. So I'm going to hide the hidden track for now. This is my Rice Yard. This is my Union Station. That's all going through here. This is my engine facility over here. Here's my Denver stockyards, my giant grain elevator, and then my the Conoco. And that's how I kind of took those maps and created elements of that to form this layout. I can't quite do it exactly the way it is, but I have to work with what I've got to try and create the image and the illusion that it's exactly the same thing. And so I have all these busyness of the tracks in here in front of the Denver Union Station. As you look down here, I'll have Palmer Lake. There's a lake there. This is a really photographic area, so we want to make sure we have that in there. There's Longmont, and there's Loveland, and in here we have the Great Western Sugar Refineries. Those are all located in there. And then all I did is just basically take the maps as I got them and took elements from that and tried to turn them into a linear format to fit into my building. It's not a science. You got to compress them, but I got to take the elements of those things from reality and try and form them in to try and create what I'm looking for. So that's how I designed the layout. That's how I went through building it, looking at those maps, looking at Google, and creating this image. So I hope that helps somebody out there, just to give them an idea of what some people do if you want to go and design your own layout using what the prototype used. And maybe it's helpful to somebody. But in any case, there you go. You guys have a great evening. Happy model railroading, and we'll talk to you all later. Thanks.